does opera and milk glass have in common? Well, in the early 1900s, they had Jenny Lind in common. So who is Jenny Lind, you ask? Well, stay tuned and I'll tell you.
I know some days with you is paradise.
If you're new here, my name is Linda. This is Nepwood at Home, and welcome to my crazy milk glass collection. So I don't even remember what video number I am on as far as milk glass collection series goes, but yeah, it's probably getting up there. I do obviously still have some more that I need to show you guys because she's still full. So back to my original question. What does milk glass and opera have in common? Well, Jenny Lind, also known as the Swedish Nightingale, was a very famous, very popular opera singer from the mid 1800s, I guess. She was born in 1820 in Sweden, and she passed away in 1887. Now, what makes this incredible is that she was actually a child prodigy, and she was discovered at age 9, and by 10, she was singing on stage. Yeah, pretty impressive. What's really interesting is that in 1850 to 1852, she actually did a tour here in the US at the invitation of P.T. Barnum. Now, if you watch that movie, what is it, Greatest Showman on Earth, you kind of know who that is. But what's really interesting is that she was actually contracted to do 200 shows for Mr. Barnum. And yeah, after 93, she decided to buy out the rest of her contract and took herself solo. Completed a tour of the US and Canada, and that's just pretty impressive. By the time she went home, she had made $340,000. Now, I don't know what that turns out to be in modern money, but that's a lot, because even in modern money, $340,000 is quite a little penny. So, very interesting. But anyhow, so that's what those two have in common, is Jenny Lind. Now, my husband recently got this for me, and I was so excited when I saw it because I knew exactly what it was. I had heard of them, had never seen one in person before, so I wouldn't say it was on my bucket list or like one of my unicorns, but I was definitely into it. And that is the Jenny Lind Cameo Dresser Box. Now, these actually came in a lot of different sizes and shapes, all with the very lovely Jenny Lind's face on them. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, what's funny about the whole Jenny Lind phenomenon thing is they had her face and her name attached to everything. Like, literally, I saw an advertisement that said basically you could get a shave with a Jenny Lind razor, you could get smoothed down with some Jenny Lind aftershave. Now, what Jenny Lind had to do with shaving your face and aftershave, who knows? But they marketed it. Everything that you could think of, they had Jenny Lind attached to it. Dishes, obviously razors, shaving cream, perfumes, powders, dresses, travel boxes. It ran the whole spectrum. And she was quite business savvy herself, and so she actually made quite a little bit of money off of her own merch, which is super cool. So what I love about this box in particular is that the cameo on this one is actually facing a different direction. Her other pieces, and these were actually produced by Fostoria, but anyhow, the other pieces, she's facing this direction. So instead of facing left, if you're looking at the box, she's facing right. So they had these. This one would have been a box that you would have used to put like your brooches, your actual cameos if you had them, that type of thing inside these. And then it would sit lovely, like really beautifully on your dresser. But they came in like an oval shape and kind of shaped like this. And you would actually put like hat pins in them. They were long enough to put hat pins in. So, I mean, that's a pretty good size box, and it had the lid with the cameo on top. There was also ones that were like smaller, and you would use those for like, you know, for other types of pins or hair adornments. Today we'd probably use them for like bobby pins. And I'm sure they had something similar back then. I don't know if they called them bobby pins though. I don't know when bobby pins became a thing. I'll have to look that up. But regardless, Fostoria made these. And initially, and there was another company that did make them in the late 1800s. And then Fostoria became really popular and made them in the early 1900s. And made them for several years, and then reissued them again in the 1950s to the 1960s because they were so popular. And this one is like absolutely perfect. I am just tickled to add this to my collection. Now, of course, made by Fostoria. If you have any questions or you want to know more about Fostoria, you can watch my Fostoria video, and I'll link it down below. Another piece that I got recently that I was super excited about. Now, this is not like what I would consider like true vintage, because I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and I'd like to think that I'm not quite vintage yet. But this was produced by Homeco, and I have seen this on so many other collector channels of other people that collect milk glass or vintage items, and I have wanted one for a very long time. Found one at the shop. It was on sale. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Roger got it for me. I am so sorry if you can hear the puppers playing down below. But if they knock my table, I'm probably gonna have to have some dog slippers, just saying. So anyhow, this lovely thing, and it actually does work. It's from Homeco, and it was like the 1980s, I think, is when they came out with this. It is not glass, it's actually plastic, which I don't care because honestly, I mean, a piece of milk glass this heavy on your wall with the mechanics for the clock would probably be kind of heavy. Although I have thought about having Roger actually make me a milk glass clock. And I did look up several milk glass clocks, and you could tell that they were kind of, but you could tell that they were put together by other people, like they were home projects. But this one was made to look just like the Fenton hobnail with the ruffle edge. And of course I have several pieces, you can probably see a couple of them there. And so totally love this thing. And from a distance, or even like hanging on the wall like it is, you wouldn't even know that it wasn't actually milk glass. So I thought that was really cool. And I have a lot of milk glass plates that are like painted and stuff. I think it'll just look really pretty with all of those. Another piece that I got recently from my husband. We're actually pretty terrible about this whole like holiday gift thing. We never make it to that. But this is actually, let me see if I can remember what the name of it is. Oh yeah. This was actually made by Anchor Hocking, and it's called the Berwick Boopy. And made in the 50s, 60s, or 50s to 70s, something like that. Now, of course, I still haven't come out with my Anchor Hocking video yet, and I will do my Anchor Hocking video as soon as I can, but I've got a lot of stuff I have to get through to get to the cabinet that has all my Anchor Hocking. Because like a brilliant scientist, I thought I'll just put everything in separate cabinets and I'll segregate everything and that'll be perfect. And it hasn't been. It's been kind of crazy. But this is the Berwick Boopy, and it looks like it has these little like marbles on it, and then you can see this teardrop here. I think it's so cute. It's darling. I only have the one, but I have lots of singleton candlesticks anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it's so cute, and I'll be on the lookout for another one, right? Love that. So the Berwick Boopy, produced by Anchor Hocking. My last two pieces are actually from Imperial Glass, and you know that Imperial Glass is one of my favorite glass companies. And I have done a video on Imperial, so you'll have to watch that if you're interested. And just like the other couple of pieces, this is not grape anything, so you'll enjoy that. One of them is this one right here, and this is actually the same pattern as the piece that began Roger's collection of uranium glass beside me. And if you've been here before, you notice that our scenery has changed a little bit. I thought it'd be kind of fun to show you a little something different besides my sad sofa. So this is the Love's Requirement is Pickles dish by Imperial. Isn't that fun? It's like so crazy. So it's another lady, and yeah, I love it. And I cannot remember what her name is. I just, like, I've lost it. It was there, it's gone, it's, if I can remember, I'll put it somewhere on the screen so you can see. But this was Imperial Glass, very cute. This is heavy, and my husband got it for me off of Marketplace. Somebody was selling it there. I had seen one at the shop, and then it wasn't there anymore, and I was like super sad because I was bummed. But in any case, she's lovely. Love this piece. And it's funny because it matches Roger's, and so now we have matching pieces. The last piece that I have to show you, we got just this last Sunday. It's supposed to be out Christmas shopping, so of course you know that's how that goes. And this is quite lovely, and I was pretty excited to get it. Sorry, the dogs, you know, they just, every time I go to record, they just need to play. And this is the Imperial Glass windmill. It's the Dutch windmill pitcher. And if you've heard me talk about it before, my husband is of Dutch descent, so I do collect quite a few Delft and windmill pattern pieces. Typically, it usually ends up in blue and white like the Delft pieces, but this is gorgeous. And I mean, look at these flowers and the detailing on this. I mean, this design is gorgeous. And in true Imperial Glass style, they are a very nice opaque white, very heavy, and of course, and I knew it was Imperial as soon as we touched it, and I could feel the beautiful sawtooth edge here and how soft it is. It's just like my my other pieces that are in the cabinet. So I love that. Very excited by that. And again, there it is. And sorry, she's apparently inhaled some of the stuffing from her toy. One of the other things about Fostoria, I'm going to switch back to Fostoria real quick, is how beautifully white and opaque it is. And it's just like my windburn pattern with the opacity, I think that's the word, opacity, and just how gorgeous it is. And it's a beautiful, beautiful white. So love that. And I'm thinking if I can find any more of these dresser pieces in the lovely Jenny Lind, I may have to add them to my dresser because they're so pretty, and swap out some of the other things that I have that are not milk glass. So that's all I have today. Just a few more pieces and a little bit of history for you. I hope you enjoy these kinds of videos. If you do, please comment, like, subscribe, do all the fun things, and I will see you next time. And please remember to collect what you love and love what you collect. And I'll see you again. Bye.
I know some days with you it's paradise, but now you spin me in